Have you ever wondered if fasting is right for you? Well, I'm about to give you 4 simple steps to make fasting more effective. Hi, I'm Jenn, the Holistic Health Boss, your functional health practitioner and expert. And if you follow me closely on Instagram or Facebook, then you probably know I've done quite a few 3-day fast over the years. In fact, I just completed my 15th one last week. But let me tell you, I didn't just jump into fasting overnight, no pun intended. Yes, fasting can produce some major health benefits, and it's been used for a really long time as a therapeutic tool to help reverse or prevent health conditions such as cancer, diabetes, and other chronic diseases. However, without the right supervision, guidance, or preparation, fasting can do more damage than good. There actually was a time when my body couldn't even handle intermittent fasting for 12 hours, let alone 3 full days. I eased into intermittent fasting and prolonged fasting periods over time, and I'm going to share the 4 simple steps that I took to get there so you can use fasting as an appropriate health tool as well too. But here's what you need to know first. Fasting isn't right for everyone, regardless of how popular it might be. And even if it's right for you, it's important to tune into your body to know if it's the right time for you to fast or not. I have seen way too many clients walk through my virtual practice door frustrated with the lack of results that they've seen from their fasting attempts, or feeling completely wiped out and worse off after trying fasting. For example, in the midst of healing my Hashimoto's and reversing mold illness, my body couldn't tolerate fasting at all. My body was burdened by way too many toxins, depleted and dysfunctional at that time to metabolize fat for fuel and feel good while fasting, even for short periods. Fasting has been a part of human existence probably since the beginning of time. Our ancestors roamed the earth, alternating through times of feast or famine and hibernation during the winter months. However, in our modern day culture, it has altered our fasting instincts and biology because of the introduction of fast food drive-thrus, processed foods with exceptionally long shelf lives, and high carbohydrate and sugar diets that leave you craving more food than ever before. To top it all off, the majority of our modern day food leads to blood sugar issues, hormone imbalances, and liver and gut dysfunction, which all negatively impact your ability to utilize fasting effectively as a tool until these internal issues are resolved. And then there are the toxins and stressors our bodies encounter every day, which alter hormonal imbalance and other metabolic processes, leaving the body less capable for effective fasting. A body that was maybe once born with this natural ability to tolerate fasting no longer can due to the evolution of the food and industry and our environment. But that's why in this video, I want to share with you 4 simple steps that you can take to get your body back into that natural fasting shape so that you can actually utilize fasting as an effective tool, feel good while you're doing it, and get the results that you would expect to achieve from it. Now, let's break down first what fasting really is. Because when it comes to intermittent fasting, especially as it relates to the keto diet, there are basically 2 schools of thought that you might hear about. One is that fasting means not eating anything at all that contains calories or nutrients for a period of time. This might mean like just water fasting. And the second one is that fasting means not eating any sources of immediate energy such as carbs or proteins, and that fats are sometimes okay. Both approaches focus on training the body to primarily utilize fat stores for energy and to become what we call fat adapted. The standard American diet and even most other whole food or primal diets such as paleo and Whole30 actually constantly supply the body with readily available fuel sources in the forms of carbohydrates, even as veggies, fruits, and nuts, and proteins like meat and beans. Training the body to be fat adapted requires limiting sources to these readily available types of fuels and forcing the body to tap into its own fuel storage, which is fat. Then there are prolonged fasting periods, which typically exceed 24 hours and can go on for days. At this point, one's body ideally should be fat adapted in order to access its own fuel source so you can feel your best during these longer stints. With prolonged fasting, there are also multiple schools of thought. Some do water-only fast, while others might include a daily cup of bone broth like I do sometimes. And most approaches produce health benefits, and you should choose one that works best for you and is in alignment with your ultimate goals. Now, I use prolonged fasting as a tool to restore and reset my digestive tract and help flush out inflammation every few months. The cells of the intestinal lining have the ability to completely regenerate within 72 hours if you avoid consuming food, giving you a whole new, stronger, healthier digestive tract and boosted immune system. Having a cup of bone broth at night and taking daily supplements can also aid in the restoration of the body and maximize fat metabolism during this time for additional benefits such as toxin elimination, hormonal health, energy, and sleep. But as I cautioned earlier, fasting isn't for everyone, especially depending on your current health status. For example, fasting could make you feel worse if you have existing hormone imbalances or a high toxic body burden from mold or other environmental toxins. It's always important to consult with your health professional before trying any method of fasting to make sure that it's right for you. And before you jump right in, I want you to follow these 4 simple steps to get your body into fasting shape and to make fasting more effective. The first one is to test, don't guess. It's better to know about underlying hormone or nutrient imbalances before you dive into fasting. At a minimum, check your thyroid, cortisol, estrogen, testosterone, and melatonin levels, along with your vitamin and mineral balance before starting a fasting routine. If any imbalances exist, lay the foundation to reverse them with a therapeutic diet, adequate sleep, appropriate exercise, stress reduction, and nourishing supplements before jumping into fasting. Step 2 is to work on fueling up with fat. Slowly ease your body into the transition by progressively reducing your carbohydrate intake and fasting with fat as your primary fuel source. Fat is not readily available as a fuel when ingested, so it still requires your body to tap into its own fat for fuel sources. Allowing yourself to have a fat-only meal in the morning, such as coffee or matcha with ghee and or full-fat coconut milk, will help deliver some of the essential nutrients that your body needs so it can still function at its potential while staying away from those carbohydrates or proteins that can hijack that fat for fuel metabolism. This will help to train your body to use fat for fuel and ultimately still help you have good energy and sleep while working towards this fat adapted stage. 3 is easing into it. Don't go for the gold right from the get-go. Start by making dinner your last meal, fasting overnight, and gradually extending out the time you eat breakfast in the morning a few days a week. This is basically what's called intermittent fasting. I started by having dinner at 7:30 p.m. and then my first meal around 9:30 or 10 a.m. the next morning, resulting in a 14-hour fasting intermittent period. As your body adapts, your energy will improve, letting you know when you can extend the length of your fasting window and shorten the window of eating. Now, women, I really want you though to note here that our hormones are particularly sensitive to food deprivation, so it's best to fast every other day instead of every day when getting started, and to honor your body's needs during certain times of your cycle. And the 4th step is to salt and supplement. When avoiding food, you're also avoiding access to nutrients, so it might be essential to supplement what you're missing. When fasting, supplementing with vitamins and minerals can help you to maintain good sleep quality, keep your hormones happy and your energy balanced, and support the process of fat metabolism. Our ancestors salted meats to preserve them for food storage and ate every part of the animal, like the organs and cartilage. So the nutrient values in their body were much higher than ours, even when they were forced to fast. While fasting, I actually continue to take my daily supplements to ensure that my body has the nutrients it needs to get the job done. I also love to incorporate certain herbal teas, such as peak tea, to help support the body while fasting. During these prolonged fasting periods, I'll have 1 to 2 cups of black or green tea in the morning and 1 cup of green tea in the afternoon. Plus, I also add in an extra packet of my favorite electrolytes by LMNT to maintain hydration, balance cortisol, and boost energy. I also take very specific binders to help capture the toxins that are being released from fat, which is where they are stored, as that fat is broken down for fuel to make sure those toxins are eliminated and not recirculated in the body. You'll know your body is ready for fasting when your energy is even all day long and your sleep is spectacular, especially when you start to lengthen out your time between meals. We want to think of the body as a well-oiled machine that is ready to adapt to anything we throw at it, but that's generally not the case, considering all the variables that impact our health in this modern day world. So, with most diet trends, what you want to know is that people have a tendency to dive all in without considering if their body is ready for it. And when it doesn't work, they give up. Often it's not the diet that didn't work, but something else that's going on underneath the hood that got in the way. And this is why it's always better to test, not guess, in order to figure out exactly what is right for your body so that you don't go spinning your wheels, wasting money or time on failed attempts or health improvement strategies that aren't actually right for you. If you want to find the missing pieces of your health puzzle so you can effectively use fasting as a tool and feel your best, then I have some great news. I actually have 2 client openings for the month of June only. And if you would love to explore more about what's going on with your health, talk about what some of your goals are, and see if working together would be the right thing for you to do next to get your hands on the right lab tests and resources to feel your absolute best, then go ahead and click on the link below to book an ideal health and weight discovery call with me. Now, I hope you found this incredibly helpful. I will see you in the next video.